The quiet rise of friendlessness is a significant, yet often unspoken trend in contemporary society. Recent data paints a stark picture of this evolving social fabric. For instance, statistics from the Survey Center on American Life, published in 2021, reveal a concerning increase. The percentage of adults in the U.S. reporting they have no close friends has quadrupled, climbing from a mere 3% in the 1990s to a notable 12%. This isn't merely a statistical anomaly, it represents a profound shift in how individuals experience connection, or the lack thereof. This growing cohort of people navigating life with fewer deep, intimate bonds signals a need for greater understanding and empathy within our communities. Today, May 28, 2025, this trend continues to be a relevant topic of discussion. Numerous societal factors contribute to this increasing sense of disconnection. The very rhythm of modern life often works against the cultivation of strong friendships. Demanding and unpredictable work schedules, a hallmark of today's economy, frequently leave individuals with insufficient time or depleted energy for meaningful social engagement. Compounding this is the pervasive influence of digital communication. While seemingly connecting us, it can lead to digital burnout and a sense of superficiality, failing to replace the depth of face-to-face interaction. Furthermore, the gradual erosion of accessible, inclusive public spaces, places where spontaneous social encounters once flourished, further limits opportunities for organic connection, making friendship formation more challenging for many people today. It is crucial to understand that this growing trend of friendlessness is not necessarily indicative of individual shortcomings or personal failures. Instead, it often reflects broader, systemic changes within the structure of our society. Many people find themselves with fewer friends due to circumstances largely beyond their immediate personal control, such as increased geographical mobility for work, the transient nature of modern communities, or pressing economic anxieties that understandably take precedence. Recognizing these overarching societal influences helps to destigmatize the experience of having fewer friends, shifting the focus from individual blame towards a more compassionate, contextual understanding of this widespread phenomenon. This perspective is vital for fostering supportive environments. This exploration seeks to delve into the phenomenon of friendlessness with an open and inquisitive mind, moving beyond simplistic judgments. We will navigate the multifaceted experiences associated with having fewer social ties, acknowledging both the potential challenges and the sometimes overlooked benefits. The intention is not to hastily categorize solitude as inherently positive or negative, but rather to appreciate its inherent complexities and nuances. By examining personal anecdotes, drawing upon current research findings, and considering diverse perspectives, we aim to foster a more thoughtful and comprehensive conversation about the evolving nature of friendship and the varied meanings of aloneness in our contemporary world. Understanding this topic more deeply can help us all. For a significant number of individuals, the absence of close, confiding friendships can be a source of considerable emotional distress and profound pain. Illuminating this reality, a 2025 study featured in the Canadian Review of Sociology, conducted by Aramian, Mallory, and Herbert, interviewed 21 people, spanning ages from 18 to 75, all of whom identified as having few or no friends. Within this group, several participants candidly described their state of friendlessness as a deeply painful experience, marked by a persistent longing for meaningful connection and a keen awareness of the void left by a lack of consistent companionship and mutual support. This emotional burden is a genuine and significant aspect of living with limited social ties for many. However, it is essential to recognize that the experience of friendlessness is far from monolithic. It varies greatly from one person to another. The very same Canadian study also brought to light individuals who discovered genuine contentment and even fulfillment within their solitude. A compelling example is Mike, a 72-year-old retired police officer, who articulated a clear sense of satisfaction with his own company and the freedom to pursue his personal hobbies and interests without social obligations. He did not perceive his limited number of friends as a deficiency or a source of unhappiness. This illustrates that having few friends can, for some, be a peaceful, intentional, and even enriching state of being. Individuals arrive at a state of having fewer friendships through a multitude of pathways, often involving conscious choices and personal prioritization. Sean, a 32-year-old lawyer whose experience was shared in a Psychology Today article updated May 27, 2025, actively pushed back against the negative stereotypes often associated with being friendless, such as being a deranged sociopath. He clarified that he deliberately prioritized other significant areas of his life, including his demanding career and his family commitments. For Sean, a smaller, more manageable circle of friends was a direct consequence of these considered choices, rather than an indication of any social inadequacy or failure on his part, showing diverse motivations. In some instances, the decision to embrace a life with fewer friends is a deliberate and empowering step towards enhanced personal well-being and authenticity. Several participants in the aforementioned study reported making conscious choices to withdraw from friendships that they found to be emotionally draining, unsupportive, or fundamentally misaligned with their core values and personal growth. One individual poignantly shared that she felt less miserable being friendless than when she was caught in the exhausting cycle of maintaining performative or superficial friendships. This powerful testimony underscores the idea that the quality of our connections invariably trumps mere quantity in fostering genuine happiness and self-respect. Prevailing cultural narratives, particularly in North American societies, often present a confusing and contradictory message regarding social connection and individual autonomy. On one hand, we champion independence, self-sufficiency, and the ability to stand alone as markers of strength. Yet simultaneously, we deeply value and romanticize connection, belonging, and an extensive network of friends as indicators of a successful and happy life. This inherent cultural tension can unfortunately lead to the stigmatization of solitude. Consequently, individuals who have few friends may be unfairly perceived by society as somehow lacking, unlikable, or even failing at a fundamental aspect of human existence, a pressure that needs careful examination. Men, in particular, often navigate a unique and challenging landscape of societal pressures when it comes to forming friendships and expressing emotional needs. There is a persistent and powerful expectation for men to embody an identity of unwavering self-reliance and emotional invulnerability. This cultural script can make it exceedingly difficult for them to acknowledge feelings of loneliness, admit a need for closer connections, or actively seek out the emotional support that friendships can provide. Research consistently indicates that men, particularly following significant life changes such as divorce, are statistically more vulnerable to losing their social ties and experiencing heightened levels of isolation, partly due to these ingrained expectations of stoicism. Women also encounter a distinct set of challenges and societal perceptions concerning friendlessness. They might report experiencing profound loneliness, even when they appear to possess relatively large social networks. This paradox can often be attributed to the substantial emotional labor they disproportionately undertake, providing care and support for family members and friends, which can leave them feeling depleted and unseen. Furthermore, there is an unfortunate cultural tendency to devalue women, especially as they age, if they are perceived as friendless. As one study participant highlighted, older women without a visible circle of friends are frequently looked down upon, facing a unique form of social judgment that compounds their experience. These deeply embedded societal scripts collectively forge a compelling, though often misleading narrative. This narrative strongly suggests that the sheer number of friends an individual possesses serves as a direct and reliable measure of their inherent self-worth, their social aptitude, or their overall success in life. Such pervasive pressure can lead many individuals to feel deeply inadequate or flawed if their social reality does not align with these idealized, culturally imposed expectations. It becomes critically important, therefore, to consciously identify and critically examine these pressures for what they truly are: externally constructed societal norms rather than immutable truths about personal value or lovability. It is entirely possible, and indeed often beneficial, to consciously reframe the experience of friendlessness, moving beyond prevailing negative connotations. Instead of reflexively viewing it as a personal failing or a sign of inadequacy, we can choose to interpret it through a different, more empowering lens. Friendlessness might represent a period of intense and necessary focus on other critical areas of life, such as career development, educational pursuits, or creative endeavors. It could also signify a crucial phase dedicated to healing from past emotional wounds or extricating oneself from difficult or toxic relationships. For some, it is a deliberately embraced state of solitude, chosen for its unique opportunities for introspection and self-discovery. Adopting this more constructive viewpoint can be facilitated by several practical strategies. A vital first step involves actively naming and identifying the external cultural pressures that contribute to feelings of loneliness, rather than simply internalizing these emotions as personal defects. It is also crucial to develop an understanding of how deeply ingrained societal expectations, including specific and often restrictive gender norms, can significantly shape and color one's personal interpretation of solitude. Furthermore, recognizing that modern factors contributing to disconnection, such as unpredictable employment, the isolating effects of digital overload, or the scarcity of communal public spaces, are systemic issues, not personal shortcomings, can help alleviate feelings of blame. Another profoundly helpful approach is to conceptualize friendlessness not as a permanent state, but as a season in the broader span of one's life. This particular season, like all seasons, may serve a distinct and valuable purpose. It could be a dedicated time for profound healing, offering the quiet space needed to process complex emotions and recover from past adversities. It might also be an invaluable opportunity to concentrate one's energies on other pressing priorities, such as advancing a career, nurturing family bonds, or pursuing long-held personal projects. Importantly, this period can also be instrumental in learning to establish and maintain healthier boundaries in all relationships, fostering self-respect. Ultimately, the experience of solitude, whether it arrives by conscious choice or through life's unpredictable circumstances, can serve as a potent and transformative catalyst for deep personal growth and enduring healing. It provides those precious, quiet interludes necessary for meaningful introspection, for the unearthing of hidden strengths, and for the careful cultivation of inner resources and resilience. As more individuals find themselves navigating periods of life with fewer close friends, it becomes increasingly imperative that our collective societal views on both friendship and aloneness evolve. We must cultivate a greater appreciation for autonomy, self-respect, and the quiet power found within, alongside our traditional valuing of connection and community.